Hello there, Ray here, and guys, we have a brand new snapshot. This is for the 1.20 update as well as for the 1.19.4 pre-release 4, meaning that we're going to get 1.19.4 very soon. Then after they come out with that version, then they'll go ahead and continue working on 1.20 with that full release, probably being in the summer of 2023. Let's take a look at what's all new with pre-release 4 and other Minecraft news that came out this week. We got some new buttons here on the menu page. We go down to the bottom right and click on the copyright Mojang. It doesn't just pop up with tons and tons of people's names, but now instead it's organized. We got credits and attributions. So you can click on credits and it'll go through credits. You can always hold space to make it go by a bit faster. There's also attributions. So because Minecraft's such a big game, it does use a lot of different things, including like Java, Unifont, and because Minecraft's owned by Microsoft, it looks like they're getting much more organized. And this credits and attribution button can also be found here in the options within inside of the game. And there's also licenses. So these are the rules that you agree to while you're playing the game. This is why they can enforce stuff like the player reporting. This is actually quite long. I don't think anybody's going to read all this. It would be nice if they had more of a layman's term article about all this. I know they have to go into such detail because if there would be like a lawsuit, all these small details will make a huge difference in court. Let me know if any of you guys have ever read this entire thing before playing Minecraft. Now there was some unusual behavior with the new decorative pots. One had to do with when they're waterlogged. Now, oddly enough, you can't just right click them and like waterlog them, which could be a bug. But the bug that they fixed had to do with something I showed in a recent video where if you place a water and then place the pot into it, you can waterlog it. But then if you remove a block beside it, instead of updating and flowing outwards like you would expect, it was just sitting there glitched and wouldn't actually flow. But as you can see, this is now fixed in the latest snapshot. They also recently updated the image when it comes to the neck part of this pot. Now you can easily place normal flower pots on top of it. It won't cause Z fighting. So you could come in and make these lovely displays like it looks like there's plants actually coming out of the decorative pots. They also fixed the problem where mobs thought they could walk right through the pot rather than having to walk over it. So now they're smart enough to actually hop on top of it. And the same thing came to mobs when being on top of the pot would think that they had to pathfind off of it, but would end up going in circles, not figuring out where exactly they should be going. You might remember a few snapshots ago, they made some changes to how shields can block different things. And I made this video showing how you can use this to send the player really far using the shield blocking. Apparently the shield blocking was also applying to anvils. You can avoid dripstone or anvil damage. Now if we try it, yeah, don't work. Now spiders can have potion effects applied to them when they're spawned in, with different percentages for different effects. Now this is only a Java thing. Now the way these effects were applied to spiders is they would just give them an effect that lasts a very, very long time, which would equate to about 3.3 in real life years. But now with the new infinite effect, they no longer have to do that. Instead, you can actually give it so the effects will last forever. Because before, actually, if you just load the spider in for too long, it would just lose its effect, even if it was a really cool one that you collected. This does mean that if you want to get to these unique spiders that have the non-infinite potion effects, you want to get them prior to updating to 1.19.4. I do gotta say the new potion effects do look nice. Now with version 1.19.3, zombies were no longer switching out the armor with better versions. It doesn't actually put the iron armor on once you give it to it, but instead keeps switching it out with the sword. That wasn't intended, so they went back to the way it was before, so you can actually continue to do this trick here, which can be used for like armor sorting, where you give an armor non-enchanted and enchanted version, but the enchanted version has less durability. So therefore, the zombie can't decide if he wants enchanted with less durability, or if he wants a more fully durability non-enchanted pant. But there's more efficient ways, like with my armor sorter here, or by using my lay sorter. If you want to learn about this glitch as well as other glitches, like bedrock breaking and that sort of thing, I recommend check out this video where I test things and see if they still continue to work in the newer versions. Oh, the boar sniffer. He had so much Z fighting going on, and this is where the game can't decide if it should show one of two layers, which are near each other. So in this case, like the green, it was trying to show that, but it's also trying to show the red, which is just underneath of the green. So it kept switching back and forth between them. So Sniffer should no longer have this problem. Who doesn't like the brush's little funny animation? But now it actually has a subtitles along with it. So if you look in the bottom right, and when you right click with the brush, it's now going to say brushing. So you can actually make this appear brushing anything. You could also, of course, brush the suspicious sand. They also improved the lighting when making display entities, so it will be appropriate when you make your very own items. When using the new block display and trying to get specific angles of the block being placed in. It was causing some really weird stretching of some blocks. Now with the new display entities, you can use this command to properly get information about the specific display. So in this case, we're looking at the item display and it's telling us that it's fixed. If you would spawn an Enderman holding a fern, it wouldn't know what the fern should actually be colored, because normally ferns look different as item than as a block. They're two different things. The same thing was actually occurring with the grass blocks. So it was these kind of black and white versions of them. And this was affecting this new block display entity when placed in. So now this fixes the Enderman problem as well as the display item. I think this Enderman's trying to say something. When making a new world, somebody noticed that the clicking was louder than normal clicking in Minecraft. Here you can see the audio bars side by side. I'm actually surprised someone actually noticed this, but yeah, they fixed it, which is nice. Oh, possessives. Those things you learn in school, apostrophe S's. Well, apparently the dragon didn't have that when you die. So if you die from dragon's breath, they just said you're roasted by dragon breath, rather than saying roasted by dragon's breath, which it does now. Apparently players were getting kicked from servers. They would do this very long and weird amount of steps. So then if you would just type anything, it'd pretty much just kick you right away. Minecraft actually had a little bit of a hiccup today, where they had trouble putting out the Minecraft.net article on the latest pre-release. Something about they couldn't find the password to log into the account that would post that type of stuff. So someone else actually posted it up onto Reddit. And if you do have Reddit, you can follow me. I also have a RaiseWorks subreddit and a moderator of Technical Minecraft on here. If you happen to miss my YouTube community post, which you can get informed about by being a subscriber and having the bell notification turned on, where it posted about the recent announcement for the official name for 1.20. That is the Trails and Tales update. Pretty appropriate because it encouraged players to go exploring. So we're thinking like the exploration update. Another name for like a journey is like a trail. And Tales, you could think of this as like being the tail from a camel, but it's a different spelling. This is Tales, like telling your story. So like going on adventures and telling your own story. This was done through the Minecraft Monthly, where they point out why the update is called this. Because like you go out on adventure looking for like the sniffer eggs, which are done through archaeology, also looking for like the new cherry blossom biomes. Of course, archaeology is strewn throughout the world with desert temples and desert wells, which encourages players to go out and find these more aesthetic looking things for the game. And don't forget also 1.20 is about the new armor trim, which is a whole bunch of different types of structures, which is more exploring. And then you can also tell your own tales with the type of templates and materials that you use to make your unique armor set. They also took this time to talk about Minecraft Legends and the release coming out really soon, which is under the Minecraft franchise. They also had to talk about their Minecraft Crocs design. Then they eventually got around to actually saying what the name was. Of course, 1.20 also has the bamboo and the camels, which you can use to go like exploring, and the chiseled bookshelves, which you can actually write your tales into and organize them so other people can read about them. Now, do you guys think the Trails and Tales update is an appropriate name for 1.20? Let me know. Now, before this fourth pre-release, they also came out with the second and third, with the most noticeable changes like the dismount underwater tag, which lets you ride different mobs underneath the water without getting dismounted. The only survival one being the skeleton horses, so you can do that once again. With pre-release adding in so you can press F3 plus S, which lets people that have problems with textures be able to easily illustrate their problem, such as like on the bug report page. This is where it saves the dynamic textures, and it shows exactly where they save them. It's within the Minecraft folders, with the new folder being inside of screenshots. You no longer see this problem of some mobs not getting pushed backwards when they get hit. Like this pig here just topples over dead and doesn't actually get sent backwards. And this version also included a fix once again to my Wither Rose farm using Enderman. So for the version of 1.19.3, it didn't work. It worked prior to that, and now it works on 1.19.4. This had to do with the Wither shooting projectiles and Enderman being able to actually completely avoid these projectiles, which was an accidental bug when they fixed something else. So once again, Enderman farm will work. But the Enderman will still continue to avoid getting hit by projectiles, even though it's like stuck inside of a boat. This is because the Enderman actually like teleports away, or at least that's like the lore behind it. Potions in Minecraft also got their colored reworked. So let's take a look at the new potions compared to the old ones. So first off, we got Night Vision, which is now a greenish color, when before it was kind of like a bluish purple color. We also got Invisibility, which is now like a silverish color, very appropriate. When before it was like kind of like a purplish color. Also, you notice all the potions do have their glitter effect removed. Next up is Leaping, which is now kind of a yellowish green. When before it was kind of this vibrant blue-green. We also have the notorious Fire Resistance, which is easy to detect orange color, which kind of reminds you of like fire. When before it was kind of orange color, but very hard to see. Swiftness is now a very nice blue color. When before it was also blue color, but was kind of hidden behind the glitterness. Slowness is kind of a darker gray color. Before it was kind of a purplish color, which made it look like a lot of other ones. Turtle Master is now a deep purple. Water breathing was all watery looking, blue, and now it's more of a greenish color. Healing is a nice dark red. One before it was kind of a reddish pinkish color. Red works really nice because it is with healing and like hearts. Arming's now like a murky red color. One before it was kind of like a purplish red. Poison is still green, and it was kind of green before. Much easier to see now without the glitter. Regen is still kind of the pinkish color, so it's easy to tell. Strength is probably one of the biggest changes. When before it was kind of a purplish color, and now it's completely changed to a dull yellow color. Weakness was kind of a dark purple color, and now, without all the glitter, you can see we just have almost like a black color for weakness. Luck is still kind of a green color, although you can't get a luck potion normally in survival. And slow falling is still kind of a silverish color. So quite a difference between what they used to look like and what they now look like. It'll be so much easier to tell what potion is what without actually having to hover over top of them. I'm really glad they did this change to the colors, because this is something I used to complain about a lot. The glitter plus the colors being too like each other. What do you think of the new colors? Bedrock Edition also got a beta preview where they introduced the cherry biome for them. So you can find those in new Bedrock worlds. It is under the experimental feature, and they also tweak some other things about the previous experimental features in the game, as well as fix general different bugs. Join me as we look at everything that you should do before updating to 1.19.4. This is done live on my Twitch live stream, link below, and I'll be streaming for about 2 hours. If you missed that, you guys can always check out my playlist about rare things. I got one all about mobs and one all about items and blocks. Thank you everyone who takes part in my community tab polls. I'm always trying to improve my videos, so your feedback is critical. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!